so today we're going to be changing out Hayden's G-tube. Hayden has had this G-tube in for about 3 months now, so it's going to be time to change it. The first step is to get Hayden comfortable. So I have her seated in a chair that she still fits in. It's an infant chair that I'm able to strap her into so she stays still. And I have cartoons going to help distract her so she doesn't move too much. I also have laid out a clean towel to catch any fluid that might come out. The next step will be to wash your hands. I wash them with just soap and water, and then I use hand sanitizer, which I've already done. So I'm just going to quickly go over the parts of a G-tube. So this is called a Mickey button. On the front here it says 12 FR, which means 12 French, 1.2 centimeters. So that's the size of Mickey button. Here is the feeding port cover. So this is where we would put an extension tube, and through there we would give medication and food if need be. And this here is your balloon port. So inside Hayden's stomach there's a balloon that is part of this Mickey button that holds it in place. So this is the port that you would use to inflate and deflate your Mickey button. So in this particular size of Mickey button, there is supposed to be 5 mils of water inflating the balloon. You're not supposed to do any more than that in this size of G-tube. So we're just gonna get right into it. I have all of my supplies set up beside me, but I will go over each piece as I use it. So the first thing to do is to deflate the balloon of your Mickey button. So you're gonna be using a catheter tip syringe, which I have opened up here. So this one is a 10 mil one, as you can see. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put this into the balloon port and we're gonna deflate the balloon. So like I said, there should be 5 mils of fluid in this G-tube, but I know Hayden's tubes sometimes get leaky, so we'll see how much is in there. So I can't pull back anymore. So as you can see, there is about 4 mils of fluid in the balloon. So now we're going to set that syringe aside. Beside me, I have opened up some fresh gauze, as you can see. So the next step will be to pull out this G-tube. So as you can see, it can be a little bit uncomfortable to remove, but it shouldn't be painful. I have never had a G-tube, so I'm assuming it just gets really itchy, because Hayden, she always manages to itch after we pull it out. So the next step will be to check your site. So this is what's called a stoma. So this is the hole that's going directly into Hayden's stomach. So from my understanding, this is what a stoma should like. It shouldn't be raised or red. She has a really healthy looking stoma. There's no redness around. So while we're keeping the gauze on her stoma, we're going to take out the new G-tube. So this is the new G-tube, as you can see. So the next step will be to check your balloon to make sure it's intact. So this is a new syringe that I've preloaded with 5 mils of water. You can see that. So we're going to inflate the balloon and make sure that there's no leaks in it. So looking at the balloon, there are no leaks. So now we're going to deflate the balloon. So the next step will be to use some lubricating jelly, which comes with the kit. And I like to load up a lot onto the G-tube. So this lubricating jelly is intended for feeding tubes, so it is safe to go into the stomach. So I like to load it up quite a bit so it slides in easy. So we're going to remove the gauze and we are going to slide in the new tube. So as you can see, Hayden didn't appear to be in any pain. If anything, it might have been a little bit uncomfortable because she did squirm a little bit. She's not crying or making any kind of negative sounds. So then we're going to fill up the balloon with the 5 ml of water. And then I'm going to take another clean piece of gauze and we're going to, she's already getting itchy from the jelly. We're going to clean up the leftover lubricant that we used. So then the next step after this, and I've seen a lot of videos of people who don't end up doing this, but we were shown that the next step would be to check placement. So from my understanding, it might be more common practice for nasal feeding tubes, just to check that the tube is in fact in the stomach. With this kind of Mickey button, the tube goes, or the balloon goes directly into the stomach, but we were always told to still check placement, so that's what I'm going to do next. So we remove the feeding port cover, and in the package of the G-tube supplies, there is a feeding tube extension. So this is an extension tube that goes into the feeding tube. So you can, this here is a med port, so this would be the port that we would use to put syringes for medication. And this one here is the liquid port. So we're just going to be checking placement, so that essentially just means that we're going to be putting the tube in and withdrawing some stomach contents to make sure that it is in fact in the stomach. So we just line up those lines, and then to lock it, we just twist it. So I'm going to be taking another syringe. So this is another 10 ml syringe, and I'm going to be putting it into the med port. And I'm going to be pulling back. So as you can see, some stomach contents is coming out. So that's how I know that it is in the stomach. So we're just going to push the fluid back in. And then we're going to lock the feeding tube extension. We're going to withdraw the syringe, close the feeding, or the port, the med port, and then we are going to remove this tube, so it's just turning it the other way and then pulling out. And then I'm going to be cleaning that, and that is it. So I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to give a special thank you to little Miss Hayden, who was such a good patient today. And we hope to see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.